Hi, everybody. I am accompanied by my friend Lavette today. Yay! Yeah, I guess you can say hi, Lavette.
Hello.
And she'll say more as we progress here. and we just have, we had quite an adventure today. Well, we've had quite a week. She lives in Canada, and so we only see each other once every few years. We've known each other since we were 12, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. So like I said, we'll get into more of that, our adventure and what we've been doing since our visit began, etc., etc. But first, I just wanted to say thank you to all you guys for subscribing. I have over 100 subscribers now. I cannot believe that. Awesome. Because I've only been doing this for a couple months, and so I really appreciate that very much. And please keep telling all your friends and family and whatnot, and about this channel, Gliding Through Blindness, and keep commenting and etc. etc. I really appreciate all the feedback, suggestions, etc. And I told myself that when I reached 100 subscribers, I would think about starting a Patreon. And so I've been kind of thinking about that a little bit now because it came faster than I thought it would. So as soon as probably sometime next week, I will open the account, and I've just been kind of thinking about some ideas of what I would do to reward people who give like $5 or more per month. And I'm thinking just some of the ideas I came up with is that we could do like a live Q&A, where you guys can ask me questions that you want to know about me or my background or my philosophies or whatever you want to ask. I guess I'm not going to guarantee that I'll answer everything, but you can ask. That's one idea I had. Like we could do a YouTube live at some point, or even a Zoom call that I could later put on YouTube, because a Zoom call we could actually have a two-way conversation, which might be even more enjoyable. And another idea I came up with is that, of course, you could give me ideas for suggestions to do for videos, which I would want you to do anyway, but I could give like priority to people who make suggestions who are Patreon members. Or um, another thing I thought of is that if you have a special like talent or area of expertise or something and one would like to be considered for an interview on my channel, that would be something we could do as well. Or we could ask each other getting to know you questions, like not just me, but the Patreon members could be our own little family that would could like get to know each other, and contact each other and stuff like that. Like have a little forum maybe, and so we could also have a talent show where people could like play an instrument or sing a song or read a poem or do anything, talk about anything that they particularly enjoy on an upcoming video, or just among ourselves, whatever we might decide. Or we could discuss a book that we have read and maybe make a YouTube video about that, or like talk about current events, which might be a loaded topic. But if you all are brave, we could certainly do that. And so, yeah, and I would love many more suggestions as well. So please feel free to contribute any input you might have on this. And so now I guess we'll get to our little tale. And so, yeah, do you want to start, Lavette, about what happened today or whatever?
Okay, well, I have a guide dog who has been pretty restless because we have been away from home for a while. I was traveling through BC and Alberta before I came here, so she's looking for something to do. So I said to Connie that she's kind of restless, and Connie said, "Well, if it's really not that bad out there, because it's hot, but there was a wind," and I said, "It's probably okay." So she said, "Well, why don't we go for a walk?" So we got ready.
Famous last words.
Yeah, we got ready, and the first part of the walk was fine. And then we got to the street crossing, and I said, why don't we try crossing the street? And we did, and we probably shouldn't have, because we got to the other side and there was no sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
So then we decided we would cross back over. But I heard a car and I wasn't sure where the car was. And my guide dog, Bonsai, decided that maybe she would show us that car. Maybe she wanted to go home. I don't know.
And did you say that you were leading the way?
Yes.
Yeah, and so, and like we hadn't, I just thought it would be just only a few minutes. So, like, I didn't prepare at all. Like, we didn't take water or my glasses. I kind of wish I would have had video of this adventure in a way, but in a way it was kind of embarrassing too.
Yes.
So, but like I didn't have my headphones for my phone, so I couldn't hear that very well. And my our apps, we should have probably like practiced more beforehand instead of waiting till literally the hottest day that it's been in years. It wasn't that quite as hot yet when we went out, but like it's going to get up to 108 degrees today Fahrenheit, which is how much Celsius?
Oh,
40,
41.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's very hot. Okay, so sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
no, that's fine. So I found this car, but we also found a curb. But I think what we might have done was not cross straight back over. We may have ended up on the wrong side of the road.
Yep, can't quite figure out how we did that, but I think
Was that when I asked that kid?
Yes, I believe so.
So I asked a kid what street we were on, or where Plateau Lane was.
And he kind of acted confused for a moment. I'm not sure why, but like
But
he
he
didn't
did
hear.
tell us.
Yes.
So we carried on, but we thought we were heading back to Connie's house. And did we even find the fence right away, or no? Or was that
then?
later?
I don't remember anymore. It's a good thing we did this pretty soon after the fact, while we still remember some of it.
So we thought, I tried Blind Square. Oh no.
My phone is yammering. Ignore that.
So I thought, well, I'll put on Blind Square, because when I was at the house and I shook the phone, it told me the address. But what I forgot was I didn't have my data on, so it wasn't being very accurate. And I tried to put in an address and it messed that up. And then I tried a couple more apps?
Yep, and I tried what 3 words too, because I had actually been experimenting with that beforehand, so I could be all prepared supposedly. So I had put in like my home address and all that, but we we just didn't think it'd be needed so that close to home. But then my phone gave me a warning that it was getting overheated, so then it wasn't being responsive anymore, and on and on.
And then my phone said that I was down to 50% with battery. And I started thinking, we're going to be stuck out here.
And meanwhile, it was getting warmer and warmer.
And my poor dog was huffing and puffing, yes. And I had no water for her. The only good thing I had done was check the cement, and it wasn't overly hot, so that was good.
Uh-huh.
But she started showing me driveways, like, this one, this one.
All hopeful.
Yes. Yeah, and our apps kept telling us all these different streets that we were on. And we finally got kind of frustrated because we were getting overheated. So yes. Then it became a bit of a competition of which app was going to help us get
Mine
home.
or hers.
Yeah. Neither.
Nope. So much for technology when you most want it.
So then I called Be My Eyes, and Connie called Aira.
Yes.
And we got a hold of someone about the same time, but I lost my connection with Be My Eyes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got a really good Aira agent named Peter. Thanks, Peter.
Shout out to Peter.
Yes, for sure, because he was just really on top of it and confident and knew right where we were and described where we were and told us where we needed to be and etc. We really weren't that far away at all.
But we were across the street.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, because like our apps kept saying you're there, like you're only 100 feet away, but we were just so confused by this point and turned around in our mind of what direction we were, and we should have paid more attention probably to where the wind was coming from and all that, but at the time you just don't think about all that, at least I don't.
Oh yes, and we knew that if we crossed back onto Connie Street that there should be a wooden fence.
Yeah.
Well, we even found a wooden fence, so we were all excited. One. Yeah, there was another one on a corner. So, and talking about it now, it doesn't sound so bad. But when you're out there in the
Exactly,
heat
in the heat and not knowing how much longer it's going to be. Yeah,
and I don't live here, so
exactly.
I was kind of confused. I mean, I learned, okay, this is the street we need, but now it's mentioning another street, and Connie kept saying, yeah, but it's kind of strange around here anyways.
Yeah, because it is, but I'm not going to bother to explain why because I might get it wrong.
I still don't know either. So, and we don't understand why the apps weren't more
Yeah, none
helpful.
of them.
No. So,
But we don't use them very much either. So, like, we're not very experienced with them. So, that's, I'm sure, part of the problem. But still, they
yeah, we
should be
were
more intuitive.
yeah, well, we were kind of thinking, yeah, maybe we should explore the apps, but I don't know if we'll get a chance to. Maybe we can tomorrow go for
Maybe,
another walk, but
if we're brave.
we wonder if we actually did around the block. We were just
With
on the wrong side of the road.
exactly. Yep. Well, so the dog definitely got her exercise.
Yes, and she was really
She
good. She showed me
was.
the curbs, and I did have to point out a couple of overhanging branches, but she was really good at the lips and the sidewalk. A couple times she tried to show me a driveway. I'm sure she was saying, this one? This one? Come on, it's hot out here.
Indeed. So yeah, and I was wishing I had my glide device. But hopefully I'll have one soon, I hope. But that would have been nice. Oh well, we can say remember when.
Yes. And it all ended well.
It did.
And we now appreciate air conditioning so
Yes.
much.
Yeah, it's funny. Last night I had it on all night because I knew that we would really want it to give the AC a good start today to keep up with the heat, which is doing so far. But we were like freezing this morning, wearing our sweaters and everything else.
Not after the walk.
No, not after that. So, anyway, but yeah, our visit is going awesome. And even though it's been too hot to really do much during the day, but the days are just going by so fast. We're still trying to think of everything we want to do yet before our time comes to an end. So trying to prioritize all that. Like we want to listen to one of the diary tapes that I made when I was like in high school or college, like when I visited her for the first time and she visited me and all that. So we'll get that in some one way or another.
Probably today because it's too hot to do anything else now.
Exactly. Yep. So today will be the day, and she's showing me this Dice World on my phone, which I find intriguing because a lot of some of the games I play on my computer, Quentin, if any of you know, I'm sure some of my blind friends have heard of Quentin C's games, and some of them the same ones are on the phone, so it's kind of neat to compare that. And
Well, and she used Android and I use Apple, so
yep,
we don't know if that's some of the things going
yeah,
on.
it's exactly that could be some of it. And I could always make this into more than one video if need be. But do you want to talk about your flight here or anything?
Well, I don't know if I should name the airline, but yeah,
Go for
I
it.
used to be able to fly with my dog so easily, just arrive at the airport with my rabies certificate in hand, and all would be well. But I looked on the website, and a friend told me, oh, you need to contact TSA and make sure you've got the right form filled out. So I tried to call them. You're supposed to call 3 days in advance. I was on vacation I think we were back in BC by then, but so I was trying to do that, and their menus weren't very helpful. I called back a second time, finally got the right area, and because I don't fly very much, I didn't really understand what I was doing. So they were asking me questions like I was going to get help through them as well. And then I said, "So everything's set now? I can go to the airport and get help?" And they're like, "Oh no, you have to phone the airline now." I'm like, "Really? I thought
Yeah.
this was the airline."
Yeah, dude.
So I then had to call the airline, and then when I got to the airport 3 days later, they acted like none of these phone calls had even occurred, and they were like, "Is this a service dog?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And so yeah, it just sort of became, and the person helping me, he was grabbing me and pulling me and pushing me, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah. I hate that.
So eventually I got to the gate, but then there was a really nice lady. I can't remember your name if you ever find this video, but you were very nice, from Texas, and we had a good chat, and I was hoping I would sit next to her on the plane, but I didn't. But I had a really nice guy, and he was actually from BC as well, so that was kind of nice. He was very helpful. So I flew from Vancouver to Denver, and then there was just really enough time to get to the next gate, and that guy wasn't overly helpful either. Um, but that's sort of when things started going downhill even more. So I got on the plane to South Dakota, and this guy said, "Oh, I'll switch seats with her," meaning me, so that there'd be more room for the dog, which was nice of him. But then the stewardess wouldn't stop.
Made a huge deal out of it for
Yeah,
some
like
reason.
almost everybody that got on the plane, she was talking to them about it as if us switching seats made it hard for everyone else that got on the plane. And I felt about 3 inches tall by the
Yeah.
time they closed the doors. And, and there's, "Oh, we're so happy each one of you has joined on this flight." And I'm thinking, I don't think you're so happy about me on this flight by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
And all she offered me was water. I'm sure they others got offered other things. Um, Oh yeah, and so I'm dairy intolerant, and on the previous flight they did offer me pretzels and a couple of other things, and I thought, okay, well, the other two things I'm pretty sure have milk, but pretzels should be safe.
Should be.
Yeah. So I opened the package and took one bite and went, "Oh no." So I asked the guy next to me, "Can you read the ingredients on here for me?" Sure enough, there's dairy in these pretzels because they're flavored, they're savory. So much for anything to eat
Yeah.
on the plane.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I finally got. Oh, and in Denver, so my poor dog hadn't relieved since 8 in the morning,
Mhm.
and so tried to ask the guy helping me that, to find a place for the dog and me, and he didn't understand at first. I had to ask like 3 times. Finally, he showed me this little room that was all dark, and I went in, and it was so smelly in there, and she absolutely would
Would not.
not. She would not even put her paws on that fake grass, and I don't blame her. It really stunk, but she worried me. I thought, "Oh no, you poor thing, you're going to
Mhm.
burst." But as soon as we got to South Dakota, Connie's daughter picked us up, and she showed Bonsai some grass. So yeah, poor dog got relieved.
Yeah. Yay.
So hopefully the
Yeah.
trip home is a lot less
I sure hope
eventful.
so. And then was it Monday night that we did the or Tuesday night?
Tuesday
Yeah.
night.
And then we did that with Carissa, and then she showed Lavette some of the president statues that I've talked about and showed you on previous
That
videos.
was really cool, actually.
Yeah.
So I sent them home, the pictures home.
For
I
her
didn't send the
parents.
statues home. I sent the pictures home.
Clarify that,
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, last night, there was a concert at the park, and my friends Jim and Laura picked us up for that, and we grabbed our lawn chairs, and it was a marching band. At first, Lavette wasn't sure what is a marching band. She thought they would actually be marching. So, but she said it reminded her of her kids' band concerts, which it was a really good band. We really
It
liked the
was,
music.
yeah.
Yeah, and we were worried about the heat though, but it was amazing how much cooler it is once the sun goes down.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the temperature, we had these things we were going to put around our neck to keep cool and everything. You like soak it in water and all that, and we didn't even need any of that, so that was good. And tomorrow we're going to go out to the ranch for a couple days with my friends Jim and Laura, and that will be very fun, except we're just there for a very short time and it's going to be very hot, so we'll just have to play it by ear as far as what we do and don't get accomplished. But we're and Lavette had brought a really yummy fruit salad recipe yesterday, so we made that, and it's coming in very handy, something cold to eat during this very hot day, and hot several days actually. So yeah, and by the way, how we met is I don't know if any of you had read the Young and Alive magazine back in the day, but that's how I saw her name in the pen pal section when I was 12, because you had to be that old to be in there. That was the minimum age, and so it just sounded like we had a lot in common. So we started taping to each other, and the rest is history, I guess. Then we
Yeah. We've met, what, 4 or 5,
something like that.
maybe 5 times now?
Yeah, the first time we met was like when we were 18 or something like that. She came to see me. That's a whole nother story about her guide dog was out in the country for the first time and ran away.
Well, actually, no. You guys encouraged me to let her loose.
Was that how it went?
Yes.
If you say so.
Yeah, because we had been on the plane all day. And I was young and inexperienced. Don't do this, anybody. And guide dogs would probably kill me if they heard about it. So don't report me, please. Mind you, it was 40 years ago?
Exactly.
Anyways, I've never done this since, but I let my guide dog go to run, and her recall was not good.
Yep, now I do remember that.
And I was getting very upset that I had lost my dog.
Oh.
Anyway, we eventually got her back. But overnight, she was really sick, and we think she got a hold of a dead rabbit and ate it. And of course, she was sick all over the floor. But I must say, Connie and her sister helped me clean it up. And
I remember that.
I was so impressed with that because they sure did not have to, and I felt so bad. And to this day, I worry that any of the family that is blind did not get guide dogs, and I worry it's all our fault.
No. That's funny, but yeah, it's just a weird thing that had to happen right after meeting each other, and like I was all feeling bad, of course, and oh no,
but, and I was feeling bad.
Yes, but it was great from then on, and like then she. I went to see her in Canada, and then we did that again. And since our kids have been born, we've been traveled with our kids, and and so on. And so yeah, so I guess we will bring this to a close now. But hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk again soon. I don't know if I'll record anything at the ranch or what. I'll just have to play that by ear. Yep. But so thanks for watching, and hope this all turned out good with us both being in the camera. Hope you could see us all or whatever. If not, you could listen to us.
That's right.
So anyway,
see it the blind way.
There you go. Bye. See you guys. Thanks.